Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about 10 things that I can do here in Thailand that I can't do from my home country of the United States. First one on the list, riding in the back of a pickup truck. Now you could say, well, you can get in the back of a pickup truck and ride around in the US, yeah, and you'll get pulled over and get a ticket. However, here in Thailand, riding in the back of the truck is completely normal. While that may not sound like such a big deal, it is refreshing, especially for me at my age, 55, to do some things that I used to do back in the 70s and early 80s when I was a kid, when it was, I guess, still allowed. But nowadays, I know it's frowned upon and you can't do it in the United States. But again, here in Thailand, you can ride in the back of the truck and it's really a lot of fun. Next one on the list is taking a tuk-tuk ride. I'm sure there's somewhere in the United States, it's just not normal at all, so I don't think I've ever seen one. But taking a tuk-tuk is pretty much a thing you can do here in Thailand that you cannot do in your home country, and I'm speaking mostly again for the United States. So that is a unique experience that you can have here in Thailand. Now, riding a tuk-tuk, give you some tips on riding those. First, whatever the first price they give you is gonna be high. So whatever it is, just go lower. I'm not saying negotiate to death, but whatever they're throwing at you, they're just trying to see if you'll take that amount or not. The next thing to know about those things are most of them have like zero shocks in them, so you are going to be bounced around in there like there's no tomorrow. Suffering from severe hemorrhoids, that may not be the ride you want to take. Another thing about the tuk-tuks is that they are loud. So if you're wanting some nice romantic ride in a tuk-tuk, good luck talking if that's what you want to do, but they are a lot of fun and I would definitely say to do it. Okay, the next thing is driving on the left-hand side of the road. Here in Thailand, you drive on the left, and in a car, you're on the other side of the car. This is as in comparison to the United States. So that is something very different, something that you're going to find here in Thailand that you won't find in the United States. All right, and the next one is getting prescriptions without a prescription. So one of the benefits of being over here in Thailand is a lot of the prescription things, medicine that you need prescriptions for in the United States, you don't necessarily need a prescription for here in Thailand, which makes things wonderful and a lot more affordable. So that is a big change from Thailand to the United States. So that's going to go on our list here of things that I can do in Thailand that I can't do in the United States. That being said, let's add the next one on the list as being able to get a doctor's appointment very fast and very cheap. That is something you're not going to be able to do in the United States. So it's very nice here in Thailand if you do need to go to the doctor. The doctors are very educated, very good. A lot of them have Western degrees for medical training. So we've had no problem in the last 3.5 years of living here with anything medical related. The prices are very low, and let's say I need to go see a dermatologist. I can get into a dermatologist usually next day. I don't have to wait months, weeks, or everything else. You're not going to go into the clinic or the hospital and they're going to say, who's your insurance provider? Please fill out all these forms and everything else that you're used to. It's quick, it's fast, it's the way it should be. Splitting lanes with a motorcycle. So here you can cut in between traffic, and let's say the traffic's backed up at a light. I mean, let's say it's a half mile or a kilometer, wherever you're from, far from the light, and you're just stuck in traffic. If you're on a motorcycle, you can just weave in and out of the cars all the way up to the light and get to the very front. That's something you can't do in the US in most states. Yes, California, I know you can do lane splitting. There's probably some others. However, for the most part, you can't do it in the United States, so it is a nice thing to do here if you're a motorcycle rider. The next one is buy alcohol at 18. Obviously, I'm way over that age, but that's something that you can do here in Thailand that you can't necessarily do all over the United States. So that is another benefit of coming over here, I guess, at 18. If you just graduated high school or you're in college or whatever, you're still not 21, you come here, yes, they will serve you alcohol at 18. So there's another thing that you can do here in Thailand that you can't do back in your home country. Stay in my car to get gas. You will get so spoiled with this one. Here in Thailand, if you're getting gas, they pump it for you. So if you're in a car, you can just sit there and let them do everything. If you're on a motorcycle, you just get off and let them pump it for you. I get so spoiled to that. When I went back to the US to visit, pulled up the gas station. I'm kind of like sitting there for a minute there waiting for someone to come out, and realized, oh, I got to do it myself. So that is one thing that is you could find here in Thailand that you're not going to find in your home country if we're talking about the United States. Taking a long-tail boat ride. So the long-tail boats, they're kind of a icon here in Thailand. You can find them down by the ocean. They're really cool. I hope they never go to any other style boat because they look so cool. So that is something that you could find here in Thailand that you're not going to find in the United States. And there's a lot of reasons for the long tail. Let me explain it real quick. So the reason they call them the long tail is because they have that long shaft coming out the back to a propeller. And you may say, why don't they just use a regular outboard or inboard outboard motor like the rest of the world? Well, what they've done is they found a cheaper way to have an engine. They're using an old car engine. That's what that big engine is that they're moving around that's still in the boat, and that long shaft that would normally go to the rest of the car is just going to a long propeller that's far away from the boat, and that's just the way they do things here. It works for them. It is very loud. Most of them are extremely loud, but they are cool, and they are very iconic to Thailand. The last one on the list is see elephants in the wild. Now, I had heard that there were elephants wild, and I've seen signs on the side of the road that said beware of elephants. And I've seen them in captivity, but I just didn't see any in the wild until I went to a place called Hua Hin. I live in Chiang Mai. I went down to Hua Hin, and we were on this back road out in the mountains, and sure enough, there was a wild male elephant in the middle of the road. And I had a Thai driver at the time, and you'd think he'd be used to it. He was terrified of this thing. So he, weaved and went around it. I guess they've had problems with the elephants out there, but it was my first encounter with a wild elephant, and I can guarantee you, you won't see any wild elephants in the United States. So anyway, I hope this was entertaining for you to find out what is different. If you like to give it a thumbs up, we've got over 300 videos for Thailand, so make sure you check that out, and we got bugs. So anyway, if you do like it, again, give it a thumbs up, and if you feel so inclined, buy us a coffee. We would really appreciate it. And if you are planning on moving to Thailand, we do have a step-by-step guide for leaving your old life and starting a new life here in Thailand. Everything from how to start a checking account here, driver's license, what to do about your old mail. It goes on and on and on. You're going to find that link in the Buy Me a Coffee link down below, and you will see the step-by-step guide. So thank you guys for watching, and I'm going to close this by saying thank you in Thai, which is Khap Kun Khap.